doing well. Today we are looking at some rainbows. We've been at home busy this morning, I have anyway, with my daughters, and we've been making different types of rainbows using lots of different things. We're trying to spread a bit of joy with these colourful rainbows today, and for the weeks to come, hopefully. Using lots of different things and putting them up in the windows so that people can walk by and see our gorgeous rainbows. So this one here is one that my daughter has done, and she chose to use paint and oil pastels. She's done some really lovely colours, thick lines, thin lines. She really enjoyed doing that, so we wanted to show you that one. This one here is mine. One of mine. I used lots of different things for collage here. So I've used paper, I've used fabric that I had laying around, I've used things out of the recycling bin here. These are some of the things that I actually used. I cut up some of our recycling boxes, looking for purples and pinks and greens, and some old wrapping paper I used. I've got some old greetings cards as well here that I've been using as well. Anything. Actually, I even cut up a bit of a plastic bag because it's got a lovely red colour. So I've been using everything and anything to make my rainbow. If you haven't got things like oil pastels and paints, then you could just use anything you can find in your recycling bin. I've even got an old packet of rice cakes here, which I snipped up as well to get the colour off of that. I've stuck things on top, I've stuck some gems, and I've also painted on top as well, because I like to do that and mix my media up. So that's one of my rainbows. Another rainbow here, it's kind of didn't turn out fully, but it was my first attempt. I'll show you a bit closer. Wonder if you can guess what I used to make this rainbow. Now, I'm going to try and show you. I used chalk, but not just any old way, not just drawing on it directly as we usually would. I'm going to show you a way of, it's kind of like doing a print, I guess. Chalk printing off of water, sorry, so I'll show you quickly how to do that. So I've got a tray of water here. This is just a Tupperware lid. It's just deep enough so that I can float a piece of paper on top without it touching the bottom. And this is all you do. It's actually really quite easy once you get going. Hopefully you might have some chalk at home, so of course if you haven't, you might want to choose one of the other types of rainbows to do. But just in case, for those that have got a bit of chalk laying around, get something that you can make chalk dust with. So I've just got not a sharp knife, this is actually a baby knife, and I can use it to create chalk dust. And the chalk dust is falling into my water and settling on the top. Hopefully you can kind of see. I'm going to do lots of different colours. You can do it just randomly, or you can try and make a rainbow shape. That's what I tried to do on my one. You can do a knife. This actually is a really good thing I found. I'm not actually quite sure what it's for. I think it's for putting tea leaves in, making a cup of tea. I've never used it before, but I took it out the drawer and it's really good for grating your chalk. Like this. Lots of you have actually done this at school, or well, not onto water, but you've grated chalk to make potions, and when we were looking at the Holy Festival and the coloured powders they celebrate with. So actually some of you are quite skilled at grinding up the chalk. So I'm just popping it across on there. I was going to go for a rainbow shape, but I'm just going to do colour all across it randomly. I like to see what happens. Just yellow. So you can see that I'm grating it quite fast and moving my hands at the same time to get it different areas. And lastly, a bit of pink. Actually, I think you can see it. I can't lift the tray up. But I think you can just see it, can't you? The colour there. Okay. And when you're happy with what you've got, get a piece of paper that fits into your tray. It needs to fit in properly, otherwise it won't sort of soak up the dust properly. So I've cut this down. Luckily it fits in, an A5 piece fits on. So I've just gently dropped it in, and oh, it does start to curl up, so you have to be super gentle now at pushing it, just really gently with your fingers down, so gently, because you don't want too much water coming up. And then what I do is just a little bit of a tap all around so that it starts to pick up the colour of the chalk that you've just grated onto it. Very gently. Okay. The longer you sort of leave it in there to take the colour up, the better, but I'm just going to do this quickly to show you. So hopefully, if I lift this up carefully in the corner, you'll have a nice colourful pattern. Oh. Oh. Oh, I can just see there in the camera, it's not quite taken on that bit, so I'm just going to pop it back down. Just give that a tap and see if it will pick anything up from that gap. Try again. It might not have worked, but give it a go and see what happens. Ooh. Ah, it has taken up some of the colour in the corners there. Oh, I really like those colours mixing together. It looks gorgeous. So this was done really quickly. As I said, you can leave yours in the water for a bit longer, only a minute or so, maybe a little bit more than that, and gently tap down all across the surface so that it picks up. These ones, here's one I made earlier. That one worked a bit better. And this was my rainbow that I showed you before. I'm going to have another go at that in a minute. So yeah, have a go at that, hopefully, if you've got some chalk at home. If not, see what you can find in your recycling, but please check with adults first before you start snipping things up. Also, remember to be safe with your scissors. Bye.